So he turned me on to this program. It's on Netflix called the Coaches Playbook. So what it is it's the first one was Doc Rivers. He coaches in the NBA. Another one was Jose Mourinho is one of the best coaches in European soccer. Then there's 2 women coaches. And then the last one, which I really liked, was a French tennis coach that was the coach for 40 of the top 100 tennis players in the world, one of them being Serena Williams. So what I got out of these, oh man, it was so good. And it's a great approach because all these coaches were really good communicators. And the one coach, I want to talk about Doc Rivers, but I don't, I guess. I'm just thinking here. That's my dichotomy. Okay, Doc Rivers was awesome. But the French coach, this is really neat. Can't pronounce his name. Serena Williams was struggling a little bit, and she went up to him and asked if he could spend time coaching her. So yeah. Now, the history on this coach was, as a kid, he was extremely shy. Like extremely shy, in fact, to the point where he had to go to a psychologist once a week, every week for 1 year, so 52 times, if my math's right.
Good math.
Right? Unless it's a leap year.
Yeah.
So the last session, the 52nd session, is the first time that he said one word to the psychologist. He just sat there.
Wow.
And he said one word and then it was done. He said, but that was his weakness. He was so shy. But he said it turned out to be his best strength. Because he was so quiet and he would just analyze people and he was able to read people's every body language that a person had because he just couldn't communicate. So he'd just read people like so deep and he could analyze someone like that. So as a coach, when Serena Williams came in, he could see her body language, and she was giving him attitude right away, and she wouldn't say hi, and she would just be like, "Why? I don't understand the purpose." But he told her that my rules. He went up to her and he said, "My rules are this: you in the morning when I say hello, you say hello back. You look at me in the eye when I speak to you." And she goes, "Well, what's the third rule?" And he goes, "Okay, she's listening." But anyways, he said, so as a coach, he goes, it became a very good strength because. And it's really neat. I don't have to say anything. I just watch because your words are cheap anyways. Yeah. So he watches and you can say, I want to be a champion, but based on your attitude and your body language and what you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're dialed in and you do the work, don't have to motivate you, kind of like what we were saying.
Yeah.
So then he could just get into some of the technical things.
Yeah.
So it was really neat.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's a principle that I live by too, is I don't actually care so much about what you say.
Right.
I care about how you behave.
Yeah.
So you can tell me what you believe or what you think or whatever. That means very little.
Right.
I'll listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then I'm watching what you actually do. So are you doing the things that you're saying you're doing? And that's something I take super serious about, doing the things you say and like sticking by your word and like all of those things. I think those things are important when you're anyone, if you're a player, a coach, anything. It goes a long way. And it's something that I don't think people realize that they value it in other people. Yeah. But they do.
So say that again.
I don't think people realize that they value someone like that. So if there's someone in your life that sticks by their word, they're reliable, they're honest, and all of those things, you might not be able to articulate that to yourself, like, I actually value that, but you do. If there's someone in your life that's like that, then that's what I mean when I'm saying, like, people don't realize how nice that is to have when there's somebody in your life that they do exactly what they say every time. They're honest about what they're doing and like genuine about what they're doing. Like, those are little things that they might go unnoticed, and you might not be able to say why you value this person so much, but that is a huge reason why. And it could be like good or bad. If they're doing something positive or negative, at least there's nothing unexpected about that person to you. Like, you know what's coming. And that's a huge characteristic that you can have if you're a coach, if you're a player. It goes both ways, because then, like, you know what you're getting from. Well,
yeah, and then if they call, like, because again, we'll go back to something that we always talk about and it's so funny because I laugh at you when someone talks or speaks, because you go, yeah, okay, man.
Yeah.
That's your answer. Yeah. Okay, man. And I'm the same, because it's like, oh, wow. I think people think you're going to get excited. I'm going to come work. Can I work with you? Okay. Oh yeah, we'll do 5 days a week. Yeah, great. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Yeah, can I work with you? Like, even with the job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll say, yeah, cool. or okay, great, man.
Yeah.
And then
we'll see. That's what I'm saying.
Can we count on one hand? No, we can count on one hand. Less than one hand.
Yeah.
Fingers, I think of. But how many guys actually do what they say they're going to do?
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing, and we laugh at it because we could just read off each other and say, okay, I can see a trend coming, and then all of a sudden, I couldn't do it because my cat had a sore paw.
Yeah, exactly.
My cat had a sore paw, so that's a good excuse, right? Yeah. And then people believe their little excuse lies, and they expect us to believe it. Yeah. When we know that it's just we know who you are. You talk a lot, and you want us to you want us to think you're all that in a bag of chips, but you don't do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah. And we're not even talking about going above and beyond.
No,
we're talking about like just a baseline level of like work ethic.
Yeah.
In terms of getting your shit done.
Yeah.
Like just doing stuff on time. Like this is my girlfriend and I were talking about this the other day because we both went through. Well, she's still going through engineering. I'm done engineering now. And something that used to annoy us is there'd be deadlines for things. Kids wouldn't finish on time and then complain enough to the prof, and then the prof would like push the deadline later.
Yeah.
Right? And so for her, she's in it right now, so it's come up a few times with her recently where it's like she's done something on time and she's busy. Like she has 2 jobs, she's full-time in school, doing all extra shit, trying to go to the gym and take care of herself and do all this stuff at the same time. She's busy. She's got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
And she gets it done on time.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone like her is able to do that, then some of these other kids that all they do is school should be able to do that. And it's not right that there's a deadline. You need to be done by the deadline. You're not allowed to skip the deadline.
Deadline's a deadline.
Because that's not real life.
Right.
And this is how people behave, though. They skip their workouts. They can't make it to their shift. They don't show up and don't say anything. And you heard me giving some of the guys shit last week about the not showing up thing and not saying anything about it.
Oh, I was going to bring that up because I was going to say how well you handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Because because you made it very clear to them, like, this is how you screw people.
So which one were you talking about?
Well, there was a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple.
In our gym sessions, which Eric it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But in our gym sessions, Eric builds the program, and let's say we have a group of 8. Then you know who you're pairing with who and how it's going to flow and stuff. And it's important that the 12 guys the 8 guys that are supposed to be there are there.
Yeah.
Because then you have to make changes, and it's a lot easier to make changes or to know ahead of time than last second. And then there was this week as well, there was some kids that had to go to maybe a spring tournament or something came up on the ice, and it left the group in a position where there wasn't enough guys to have our scrimmage day. So we had to finagle it last second. And the problem with this is I hate that. The problem is when you don't have the common sense or the decency or the people skills to send a text, because that's all we really need, or whatever, as soon as you can, or a phone call, or let you know that, we can't be here for this time. It screws not just you up, it screws up the whole group. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if we had a goalie not show up.
That was the big one.
Just didn't feel like coming, I guess.
Yeah.
So we've got a game ready to go, and it's like, I'm sitting there and I just ready to lose my mind because you're the goalie. If it was 1D, we could work around that. But when it's a goalie, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the common sense or the decency to phone and say, I just can't make it. Or I'm late. Or I'm sorry I didn't show up to, like, nothing.
Right.
Just crickets from the kid. So you're not only, so by not making that, okay, so maybe you're afraid of what people think from the phone call. Like, I'm letting everyone down. But that making the phone call at least allows everybody else to do something about it, as opposed to sitting there going, okay, now we all hate your guts, and we don't want to ever talk to you again.
That's right. Yeah, you gain respect that way because the goalie was so. What's funny? So I had a hill workout on Friday. So I had a group of 50. It was our first hill workout for one of my younger groups.
Yeah.
And I got 15 guys or so, plus or minus, in that group.
Right.
And I had 3 show up.
And you didn't know.
On Friday, and I didn't know. So I'm expecting 15. And 3 were there. So, and here's what happened. It's a Friday. It's early in the morning. You have to get up to come to do the hill workout.
Yeah.
And you've been skating all day and whatever other reason you have. And I got a couple texts like 10 minutes before the workout. I got and then everyone else just didn't show up. So I had like 4 or 5 kids tell me, not entirely last minute, but like getting close to the deadline of what I assume would be last minute. And then I had a bunch of guys not show up. So I gave them shit about it, saying like, it's not acceptable for you to not show up and not say anything. I was like, I understand if you have another commitment that has come up, or a tournament for another sport, or you're actually sick, not my tummy hurts 5 minutes before the hill day, or whatever. But I need to know, like, you need to have enough, be considerate enough to let me know that, because it does, like you said, it changes how everything's going to flow and how the group's going to flow and all that kind of stuff. So I gave him shit about that. And then right after that, this goalie thing happens with the other group, who I also gave shit about for a couple guys not showing up the week before as well. And that was just a great example of everyone feeling how much that sucks.
Yeah.
And you're expecting to have a full game. We got 2 full teams. Everyone's up, ready to go. And now there's only 1 goalie.
Yeah.
That ruins the whole day.
Yeah.
So you're here, dialed in, ready to play your game, and now there's no goalie.
Yeah.
So now what are you supposed to do? Now the day sucks. It just ruined the next 2 hours of your life.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I said to the guys. I brought them all in. I said, do you guys see what this feels like right now? Like, it's disappointing. It's annoying. It's like, what the hell, man? It completely changes the activity that you're about to do now.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you guys don't let us know that you're not coming.
Yep.
It completely changes the dynamic. And this is just a good example of that you guys all can feel right now. So it's not acceptable to not have that. And there's no reason for that either. To not show up and not say anything. There's absolutely no excuse for that. Nothing. No. I don't care what happens. If you get in a car accident on your way to the workout, you can send a text that I got into a car accident on the way to the workout.
100%.
You know what I mean? So there's no
100%.
reason outside of a few extreme examples where that's okay.